Meanwhile, with the weakest guys were like, since Supreme Court has thrown it out now that they've withdrawn the case, this is the evidence that they actually appealed to withdraw the case from the 6th of February. And by the 10th of February, the Supreme Court decided to discontinue the case. So this is what the two team took out there. The first set, those who represent the Fubara, those who represented the Martin Amawule with the weakest loyalist, had this to say.
The appeal by the governor of Rivers State was dismissed by the Supreme Court this morning following the notice of withdrawal by the governor of the appeal he filed. Consequently, the decisions of the Court of Appeal and that of the Federal High Court, presided over by Honorable Justice Omotosho J, affirming that the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Honorable Martin Amewula and the other 26 members of the House of Assembly, are the authentic members of that House of Assembly and remain so, and that Martin Amewula is the leader, that is the Speaker of the House of Assembly. So that is the position today. And I must add that the Court of Appeal had admonished and clearly stated that the House, purportedly being led by a three-man panel, is not the House, Rivers State House. The appeal by...
So, Femi Falana and other guys, they are the ones representing Fubara in the case. They are the ones who withdrew their appeal. So Femi Falana and gang were like, the appeal or this case that led to this Supreme Court, it has nothing to do with the the legality or the validity of this member's seats. It was basically about budget. So this is not a Supreme Court judgment that has anything to do with whether you are still PDP, I'm sorry, whether you are still lawmakers or you are not lawmakers. No. This case is about the governor not submitting budget to you, which, according to you, Fubara has committed a crime. You know, like he spent the 2024 budget appropriation without the lawmakers' approval, which they, according to them, is an impeachable offense. So to Femi Falana, it was like, no, that's not what happened.
As you are well aware, we filed an appeal against the judgment of the Court of Appeal in respect of the budget of the state. The budget has since expired. We are now talking of 2025 budget, but that appeal had to do with 2024 budget. Secondly, with respect to the defection, the legislators, it was after the judgment of the High Court, Joseph Motosho, and the Court of Appeal, that they defected. So the question of their defection is now pending before the Federal Court in Port Harcourt. So, and that is why we withdrew the appeal on the ground that it has been overtaken by events. All right? So it was our own, we withdrew the appeal, contrary to the misinformation that has been created in the minds of Nigerians. We withdrew the appeal, and that is the normal thing, to have it dismissed because we have joint issues.
So having withdrawn it, does it not mean that Amewule remains the speaker?
No. He has defected. After the judgment of the lower court, he has defected. And that is being challenged now in the Federal High Court. Yeah. Thank you.
Get that. I know. Sorry. Roses and Charles, you want me to remove the dark background? Why? You want to see everything inside this room like we used to have? But we are trying something new, you know, like we're going to take a poll, okay? We get to know those of you who feel like, no, just keep that. I don't know, maybe like you have become so used to what Agajnst Diary Political Studio looks like, that this is like, is this kind of like a shock to some of you? Anyway, like I said, we're just trying it out, okay? If majority of us feels like, no. Of course, I'll change it. But for now, let's enjoy it, okay? So Femi Falana went on to speak further on the state of the judiciary in Nigeria, this particular issue of Rivers State, the legality, the validity of this or that, and who is breaking the law, who is not breaking the law, and all the judgment that surrounds this, and the drama. He went on the channels to sort of speak more, and I have a copy of that. Let's go take that. I will read the comment.
He's been reacting to the position of the court today after that ruling. Take a listen to him.
The 10th Rivers State House of Assembly is happy with this development. Rivers people are elated that the Supreme Court has indeed spoken. Recall that at different fora, the governor has insisted that he was not going to obey any judgment, be it in the Federal High Court, the Court of Appeal, or any court at all. Today, the Supreme Court has spoken. We'll wait and see. It's on record, and the judgment of the Supreme Court today has affirmed that for 1 whole year, the governor of Rivers State spent taxpayers' money without an appropriation law. 1st January to 31st day of December 2024, the governor of Rivers State spent Rivers people's funds, both internally generated revenue and the federal allocation, from his front pockets, as if the money belongs to his family.
You heard what Mr. Amawile said. And he's made it clear. He said, look, the governor is involved in illegality as far as they are concerned, those 27 members.
You see, these cases have gone to court. And I'm saying, as of today, the 27 members, in the eye of the law, are no longer legislators. Haven't become.
At the moment, where they said they were no longer members of the PDP.
No, they went to the Federal High Court in Abuja here and swore to an affidavit that we are no longer in the PDP. Please, INEC. And they got an expert injunction, expert order. Please, don't fill our seats here. INEC. And the court said, okay, for this very serious order you are asking for, you will pay damages. I think 5 million naira or so, which they haven't paid. But as soon as they now knew that the affidavit had become public knowledge, they then secretly withdrew the case. But that affidavit stands forever. It's a record of the court that we are no longer in the house. We are no longer members of the PDP. We have now decamped to APC. But please, INEC, in the interim, my lord, don't allow INEC to fill our vacancy.
Affidavit is an establishment, an affirmation of a fact.
Of course. You swear.
You swear to it.
Yes.
Which will make it legally binding.
Of course, you are bound. And that has not been removed from the record of the court, where they on their own have sworn to an affidavit that we are no longer members of the PDP. We have decamped. But please, my lord, don't allow INEC to fill these vacancies yet.
So you think in the eye of the law, it is right for Governor Fubara to be relating with the 3 members as though they are the full constituted members, full-blown constituted members of the State Assembly?
Yes. That's the law.
Until an election
Until the vacancies are filled.
Or the legal tussle was vested.
Yes. That case is coming up on the 17th. And they are defending the case. So when you say Supreme Court has spoken today, Supreme Court never spoke about the legitimacy of their seats. No.
In fact, the notice of discontinuance reads, the appellants hereby wish to withdraw their appeal because it has been overtaken by event. That is the language.
And as such, it has become an academic exercise.
Of course.
Because what you are fighting on, or what the resolution in which you are seeking the court to resolve, has been overtaken by
Of course, the budget has been
budget
spent.
of
Now we now have the budget of 2025.
Okay. I'm worried though, Leonard's sake, that the House of Assembly in the recent history, in the Fourth Republic, has become a whim and a tool in the hands of politicians to have their ways. And I made a clarification yesterday on our Lest We Forget segment of the imminent thing that is going to happen in Lagos. Mojisola Miranda may be forced to step down or be removed as the Speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly. And we've seen this happen over and over and over again. The word dismissed was used. It was as though there was a winner and there was a loser in that matter. Would a dismissal of the suit be the perfect or the right word to represent what happened today in court?
Well, what happens in court? Again, I was in court today. When an appeal is dismissed, not on merit, but on the basis of a withdrawal by the appellant, the question of celebration doesn't arise. What happened in this case is that the governor of Rivers State instructed his lawyers to withdraw the appeal on the ground that it had become an academic exercise. In other words, the issues are no longer alive. And therefore, why do you want to waste the time of the court? It wasn't contrary to what a colleague was saying. The court did not determine who is a speaker or who is not a speaker. No, it didn't come up.
It wasn't before it.
No. What was decided at the lower court, at the High Court, Federal High Court, that led to the appeal had to do with the 2024 budget, the passage of the budget, 2024 budget,
which has now been expanded with.
And this governor said, we have spent the money. We are now dealing with 2025 budget, which has been passed into law. So that's what happened today.
So why litigate on it when
why was the time of
so
the court?
that was the basis.
That was what happened today.
So your colleague that spoke on behalf of the Amaule led House of Assembly misinterpreted the matter.
No, completely. No, I don't think he was interpreting the judgment. What happened today? And the basis of dismissal is this. Once you have joined issues, once the parties have filed,
and on. Again, right, please, if you see that the background changes, all right, it is still part of the trial, all right? So, and I will read the reactions, the comments, for those who probably feels like it's distracting them. Because sometimes when you put up moving image, like a visual behind, some people says, but again, I am reading comments and it will always change going forward, all right? So this is the position now. Meanwhile, in the camp of the Wike case, now is the time for the Wike's men to remove Fubara because he has committed an impeachable offense. But the only contradiction you are having here, which is deliberate, everybody is speaking whatever suits their own theory. Right? Anything that kind of like, feather their own nest. So to them, they should remember that Fubara believes that by the actions of Emawule, the Wike's guys, and their decampment to APC, is enough ground to say they are no longer lawmakers in Rivers State anymore until the case in Federal High Court is determined that they are still members. the judgment of, today, to the Fubara, the judgment of today is just not judgment. It's actually like to say, okay, the parties that appeal the cases, they are not doing it anymore. So if you now realize that you do not actually have any authority per se, then you cannot begin to plot out to remove somebody, because that's what they are saying right now. I'm not going to be surprised though. Here you get. So on the side of the weakest men, it may be the time to begin the impeachment of Fubara. So again, the coming days, weeks, and months in this 2025, leading to 2026 and 2027, they are going to be so eventful that I implore you not to kind of miss anything at all. Yesterday, Mr. Wale Adewale also, let me check his name, is the spokesperson for the EFCC. All right. His name is Dele Oyewale. So Dele Oyewale, who is the spokesperson for the EFCC, actually just said that most of these guys that are busting to people's houses in Nigeria at night, they are not EFCC. Now, understand this statement very well right now before you, before you kind of like process and digest it, okay? Last month, a member of the EFCC squad, they broke into an alleged internet fraudster's house in Anambra. And in the process, the man who felt like they were kidnappers or kind of armed robbers trying to rob him or attack his family, brought out his gun and shot two of these officers. One was fatally shot and he died. Another one is, seriously injured as well. And this kind of, it's kind of like a sparked a conversation all over the place that people have been complaining and lamenting the modes of operation of these EFCC guys, coming in the middle of the night, breaking people's, jumping their fences, breaking into their homes in the middle of the night, intimidating the household with your guns and what have you, beating them up. That this is so unprofessional. And it is ideal for EFCC to review this mode of operation. Last year, EFCC said they have banned the night operation. So, and then when that happened, some people, had opinion, like I said, sprang different kind of opinions on what was right, what was not. And the majority believed that a government agency that is investigating somebody for financial crimes, right? Once they want to make an arrest, they go and get arrest warrants, search warrants, so that they can, they can execute that during the daylight, not in the middle of the night, the way they have been doing. And it's kind of like a story of corruption, so to say, all right? So if the EFCC spokesperson says some of those people who break into your homes in the middle of the night, in the name of EFCC, some of them, it's not saying they might not, so he said they are not EFCC official. Does that then mean that people are free to defend themselves? If you see, there's no way you can identify who are the EFCC, who are not EFCC, because if they say they are EFCC, and these guys, this EFCC spokesperson, like he put it right, if this guy says we are EFCC, and I'm like, I don't believe you, because you are not supposed to come in the middle of the night. So how do you know these are the EFCC and these ones are not the EFCC, or these ones are the EFCC, or these ones are the armed robbers? How would you know? And you have the means of defending yourself. What does this statement mean?
Of dealing with that. Okay. And don't forget that it is not all of these cases where you have people breaking in and, all of these, most times they are not EFCC officers. I am telling you. I have had calls severally to say that some of these kids that you see online, you see people wearing happy car, wearing all these funny things. No, that's not EFCC. I'm telling you. But people do that to discredit us, and we have been shouting and shouting and shouting, I can't recollect how many press statements I have written to say that all of these people, they are not from us. Now, if someone comes and he says, oh, I am from the EFCC, ask him to establish his identity.
This is a country where people don't interrogate. They don't.